You're about to witness the strength of Mr. B, MVP.
Oh shit, it's about to get real up in this bitch.
Hey folks, it's Mr. B, YouTube's MVP and greatest Twitch streamer in the world. And hoo-wee, do we have a controversial topic today? Damn! The Last of Us 2 has released to a controversy I've never seen before. Normally, when a game, comes out, it either does good or does bad. If it does bad, it gets shits on by everybody. But I have never seen a game come out that supposedly does fantastic and still get shits on because people are saying it's fantastic. What is going? As coronavirus has completely messed with everybody's mind. I mean, we've got people left and right going, oh, Sony bought the reviews, which is the biggest load of bollocks I've ever heard in my life. Honestly, it's just not going to happen. We're not in the 1960s, folks. People, you don't have Al Capone going around buying publicity so he doesn't get arrested. It doesn't work like that anymore. And then you've got the likes of Skill Up saying, and is it Legend Killer? Legacy Killer? Something like that. You got him going, well, smaller YouTubers don't want to get blacklisted, so they say nice things anyway, despite the fact it's IGN and all that shit, giving the good reviews. No, but the smaller YouTubers want to stay on the right side of Naughty Dog, so who gives a fuck? Nobody gives a fuck. If Naughty Dog blacklisted me today, I'm still going to be able to buy the game. Really? Let's just, before I get into what the whole my initial thoughts for this game, because I have played a good 8 hours now. I couldn't resist. I wasn't going to buy it, but I did. And now I can give you my thoughts on it. But before I do, let me just tell you exactly what's going on. 2020 has had a massive drought of content. In fact, probably one of the worst content droughts I have ever seen. And to be quite frank, it's just because, in fact, you know what? I'm going to let my boy, Eddie Murphy, tell you exactly what the problem is. Take it away, Eddie.
Feel good, you know why? Because you waited 5 months for it. If you starving and somebody throw you a cracker, you're going to be like this. God damn, that's the best cracker I've eaten in my life. That ain't no regular cracker, was it? What was that, a saltine? God damn, that was delicious. That wasn't no saltine, no, that was the Ritz. That wasn't no Ritz. I said, God, that's the best cracker I've eaten in my life. Damn, another one, please, one more.
And it's that simple. You're starved of content. The second you get your first good piece of content, it's going to be the best content you've ever had in your damn life. And that's just how this shit works. It's psychological, it's human nature. Right, so now we're all agreed it's something and nothing. Let's talk about what this game is actually like from someone you can trust who doesn't give a shit what Naughty Dog says. And no, I am not going to go, oh, it's brilliant, just for saying it's brilliant. I'm going to call this shit straight down the middle, how it should be. So here we go. So the first thought that came to my mind when I was playing this game was the first 2 hours. Now, I've got to say, I love a cutscene. I love sitting back and world building and all this. But my God, the cutscenes were stupidly long in the first 2 hours. I mean, it felt like I only had like 10 minutes of gameplay. That's how long the cutscenes were. I mean, seriously. Naughty Dog, I know you're trying to do world building, but there's better ways than just giving me a movie. And to be quite honest, the character building that they didn't really tell me much anyway. I mean, I'm not going to spoil the story for anybody, but let's just say the reasons for controlling certain characters didn't even make sense until shit went down. And I'm just going to put it like that. So the first 2 hours of character building and world building, this massive cutscene felt absolutely pointless to me. And it felt like it was just in there just to drag out game time. It didn't need to be that long. However, there are times in this game, as far as the gameplay is concerned, that just astounded me. There's a couple of parts which were literally ripped straight out of The Walking Dead. Like in the Horde sequences where shit's just going down, you've got everything collapsing on top of you, you're making split decisions to try and stay alive, and it all goes down. And there's parts in this game where they do that amazingly well. I mean, amazingly well. There's an actual sense of, oh shit, I need to move here and move quickly. I need to think, am I going to go left? Am I going to go right? Do I go straight? Which way do I go? Oh my fucking God. And honestly, it's amazing. When the game gets when it gets into full flow, when it's firing all cylinders, when it's punching left and right and throwing hooks at you every direction, the game is 10 out of 10, 100%. The problem is that the game doesn't always fire on all cylinders. A lot of the gameplay is very slow. You're just walking around the world chatting shit with your forgettable partner. Whatever it is. I think it's Dina, forgettable, whatever her name is. But the straight fact is that it just doesn't feel... it doesn't feel intense enough. There's too many downtime moments in the gameplay. And my biggest problem of all with the gameplay is how the story's shaping out. Not spoiler talk, we're not talking about what everybody's spoilers. What we're talking about here is how they're setting the story. We've seen the first one. You was trying to survive against the infected whilst having the inconvenience of having to deal with utter fucking lunatics. In the second one, they've swapped it on its head. You're now having to deal with absolute raving fucking cockwombles whilst having the inconvenience of having some infected spotted around. And to me, that is completely 100% wrong. The writing hasn't done well in this. They've not done it right at all in my eyes. This was always supposed to be man versus infected versus man, not man versus infected. They've got it back to front, and I think that hurts the game entirely. What I would have liked to have seen for the sequel is maybe some evolution with the fungus. I mean, bear in mind, this is a fungus infection that's taken over humanity. It's pretty much science fiction at this point, so they had a free rein, they had a poet's license. There could have been some evolution in the infected where they hunted in packs maybe, where some of them are more intelligent than others and they could control them with movement or sound so they could actually hunt your position. And you could have had a really amazing story where you're having to take out this horde, this mother horde that is sending people out to infest the world like vampires would. They could have had that scenario, but no, they decided to go along the lines of where some of the infected have evolved into different, I don't know what you call them, different types, exploders, gas bombers and all that shit, and that's it. The rest of it, you're just dealing with the same sort of sickos you dealt with in the first one. They've just given them different names. Now, there are a group of enemy I haven't come across yet, which is meant to be highly skilled, highly AI. I think they're called Scars. I haven't got to that. I'm about 8 hours in. Well, apparently, they're supposed to be exceptionally good. They hunt with whistles. But again, it's still being hunted by humans. They should have been man versus infected and having to deal with some stupid arseholes at the same time. So they've got it completely wrong. They could have done so much more with it. Another problem with the actual story is the AI. Not the AI of your combatants. No, that's fine. They're stupid enough for my taste. It's the AI of your dumb-wildered, club-footing, stupid bitch of a partner. I mean, oh my God, the amount of times I've done. See, when I go into a room that's full of clickers and infected and all that shit, I'm a hoarder. I like to loot a room, and I don't like to leave a room that's got loot in it. It drives me mad. So what I like to do is I like to clear out a room. I like to get rid of all the infected, stalk them down, do all my stealth shit, sneak up behind them, slit their throats, clear the room. Jobs are good 'un. But to do that, you have to be quiet. You have to be measured with your movement. Watch where they're going, so you can go the opposite way, so you can get behind them, and jobs are good 'un. What does Clubfoot do? No, I'm just going to jump over this stool and alert every fucking clicker within a 5 mile radius of where you are. just honestly, the stupidity of, I'm sure it's Dana, the stupidity of that AI is probably some of the worst I've seen since Alien Mercenary game, Colonial Marines. I've honestly, she gets in, and if you get to a point where you're relying on her to shoot something for you because you've run out of bullets, it's a clicker chase and you can't fight back because you haven't got a melee weapon, and all you're doing is relying on your partner to shoot the damn thing, good luck. She might take 15 shots to get it, she might take 30 shots to get it. Guaranteed she won't get it in one. Oh, honestly, the AI is so... I'd rather her just... honestly, there's times where I just wanted to nail the bitch to the floor and leave her there. Because she does my head in. She absolutely... It doesn't help that I've got no feeling for her whatsoever. It's not because of the spoilers and all this, because I know what happens to Joel and all that shit. It's because the chemistry between Ellie and Forgettable is non-existent. They force this fact that they're supposed to be in a relationship and lovers and all that shit. They force that down your throat as if to say, oh, look at them. Look at the lesbian love. No, there's no relationship there. There's no feeling between them when they talk. There's just nothing. And it's not like Joel and Ellie. You see, you felt that bond between them. You felt it go from just a guy taking a package to a point to a guy being resentful of this girl because it reminds him of his daughter, but then falling, becoming in love with her because he reminds him of her daughter, to the point where he actually sees her as his daughter. You saw that sort of journey as you went through The Last of Us Part 1. This one, there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. And Ellie's voice acting is beautiful as always. I mean, Ashley Johnson, who's done it, the girl out of Blind Spot. She's an amazing actress. She has done so well. But I don't know whether she didn't like the person who played Dina, or whether this Dina Forgettable is just not as good as Ashley Johnson. I don't know. But the chemistry is not there. Not even in the slightest. But that's the gameplay, the story, and things like that. What about everything else? Well, the graphics. Let's talk about the graphics. The graphics are outstanding. And I say this with every piece of love in my heart for games with good graphics. The graphics are 10 out of 10. For the PlayStation 4, 10 out of 10. And bear in mind, I play on standard. I don't even have the HDR settings. I'd love to see it in HDR. It is absolutely amazing. It's not just the way everything looks, it's the animations. I mean, I am a graphics whore. These are things that I look for. I criticise Final Fantasy VII for not being able to draw circles. This has it down beautifully. So much care and attention was put into the world, the weather system, the way the foliage and the water interacts when you go through it, the way your horse looks, the way the dogs and the animals come near you and interact with you. It's beautiful. It really is beautiful. I haven't seen as good a world build since Red Dead Redemption 2. It's that good. What makes it so good, though, is the noises, the sound, the actual sound design they've put into the game. They have worked. The people who is in charge of sound, bravo. You have put together a masterpiece. My one issue with all the graphics and all that sort of thing put together is some of the logic hasn't quite... There's some choice that's been made that are just not logical. Bear in mind, it's only, 5 years? No, let's say it was 10. Let's say 10 years. It's only 10 years since Infection Day or Outbreak Day or whatever they want to call it. Yet in the world, there is a bus stop, but where buses stop, and not 10 feet away from it, in a direction where the bus would obviously have to go if it was a road there, there's a tree that looks like 300 years old. Or a bunch of trees that are 300 years old. It's like they put the trees in for the trees just to have them there. They haven't thought of where it should have gone. There's little things like that that just didn't quite make sense with the world building, but then again, I'm a picky bastard, I'm going to pick up things like that. There's just some illogical design choices. But like I said, as far as I'm concerned, it's 10 out of 10. Let's say 9 out of 10 for the illogical design choices. But I tell you what, for an 8-hour play so far, I think this game is gonna be a contender for a game of the year. There's no two ways about it. It's gonna be a contender. It's better than Final Fantasy. 100%. 100%. Is it the best game of this generation? No. No, it really isn't. You see, I don't suffer from content drought starvation. I call things down the middle. And for anyone who's giving this 10 out of 10 and saying it's a game of this generation, you've got your rose-coloured specs on, honestly. It has its issues. The main issues with the slow story, the way the story is turned on its head, they've got that wrong. As far as I'm concerned, that is 100% wrong. They've got that way so far wrong. I'm surprised the story managed to be wrought in that way, and someone, or Neil Druckmann or whatever he's called, actually went, yeah, I'll go with that. Because, I don't know, they let themselves down there. Considering which way they could have gone, they let themselves down there. For me, at the moment, it's hovering around between 7.5 and 8 out of 10. And that's an honest, true perspective of where this game's going to be. I think by the end of it, I truly believe it's going to be an 8 out of 10. I'd be surprised if it isn't. It's got to do something drastically wrong to go lower than that. It's got to do something exceptionally well to go higher. So I think it's going to be an 8 out of 10. But we'll find out. So that is my initial thoughts on this game. It gives you a good idea, an honest view. If you're looking at dipping your feet in, I'm not going to tell you whether to buy it or not yet right now, because this is just an initial thought. However, if you can get, a cheap copy somewhere, it's definitely... No, I'm not doing it. I'm not telling you whether to buy it or not. I want to say, yeah, go get it, because I know what it's going to be like by the end, but the scientist in me, although I'm not a scientist, I like to believe I am, the person who says, no, let's just see what it's like at the end, then we'll call it from there, because I don't want to give you some duff information that turns out to be shit by the end. It's just one of those things. But let's just see how it goes. Let's see how it goes with Ellie. Let's carry on with Ellie's story. Let's see how she managed to spark some sort of relationship with Forgettable. And we'll take it from there. I'll be streaming from Sunday night or tomorrow night at 8 PM UK time. Monday as well, 8 PM UK time. So yeah, let's see how it goes from there. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for being here. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe. Please drop a like. Share the video. Show me some love, man. Come on. I've been at this 3 years. I'm not into 1,000 yet. We'll get there. I'll get there one way or another. So until next time, so for me, Mr. B, ta-ta for now.